Hey, hi, how you doing, guys? Welcome. So today I want to show you a project I've been working on. So it's a scraping project and API. If you don't know what the scraping means, it means to get data from websites or a digital source. And first, I would like to give you a walkthrough, a little overview. So first, what we need to check is the ingestion and verification workflow. So we're getting the data from the New Mexico OCD website, and basically is we're going to scrape data from the wells in New Mexico, but this website is protected by Cloudflare. So what we need to do first is that um, we need to do some manual session verification, and the user has to do it. And then we are using a tool called Firecrawl. So this tool, what it allows us to do is to have a live session, and then we can reuse this session when we do a request. Um, After this, we start a process that is a supervised scraping with checkpoints. So this process will generate several documents. I will talk to you about this more in detail later. And after that, we will go to the data normalization and storage phase, where we clean the data and we structure the data from these websites according to how we want it in the database or how we want to display it in the API. So we're using SQLite. Um, and here we are also adding indexing. So because in this API, we have an API called Polygon, and just to have faster results and have better performance, um, I'm adding the indexing on certain columns, and that's why we need it for the geospatial polygon search, right? And also we are having some API normalizations for have a little more flexibility for the users to do a request. And I'm adding also the two-layer caching strategy. One is the service level and is the LRU cache. And the other one is the HTTP cache control headers. So yeah, we're gonna talk more in detail about this. So let's go to the demo. I also wanted to talk a little bit about the architecture that I choose for this app. So I try to separate concerns and do the cleanest that I was able to do it. So the first one will be the main PY that basically its job is the setup and routing. We also have the API layer and we have the API routes. We also have the cache helpers here. We have a CLI that has all the commands. By the way, I also add the makefile so developers can run commands easier. Also, we have the repositories that basically handles everything with the SQLite, like schema, functions, and connection helpers. We also have the schema for API validation. We have the services. This one is the core of our application and handles ingestion pipelines, query services, scraping, and parsing. We also have some utils, so just helper functions. And then we're gonna go to the data. So in the data, we have the file that of the APIs that we need to scrape. After the scraping happens or starts, this one will be created and it will be the data will be loaded in this CSV file, and this file will be the one that we load to the database. Also, we will have the scrape checkpoint. So every time we have the scraping running, we will have this checkpoint. Why we need it? We need it because mm, if the scraping fails or the security is triggered, we don't want to scrape the same information again and again. So the app checks which one was the last API, and then it will restart from there. So that's why this one is important. Also, we have a report, and basically in the report we have like the failing, the missing APIs, the columns that are null. Also, we have the count that we need to like how many we have to scrape, the scrape count already, and yeah. So this report is very useful because when we are doing a scrape, scraping, we want to make sure that the data, we have all the data, or like if something failed, we want to make sure which one was the one that failed, why it failed. So it's just very useful to have a report like this. Um, have a quick overview, and we have also the test that checks that the pipeline works end to end. And now we're going to start with the demo. For this one, this branch already have the scraping, the scrape wells, sorry. And yeah, so we want to start with a clean version, I think. Which one was it? Git, check out, I think it was clean version. Yeah, okay, perfect. And let's do this. So for this one, to start the scraping, something I wanted to say. Um, we have all these commands, and the one that I'm going to run is the ingest supervise. This one is because when we run a scraping, let's say that we run the ingest one, right? It will start with scraping, and after it finish, it will load to the database. But if the trigger happens, I mean, if the security is triggered again, we will have to run we will have to run like a lot of, well, not a lot, but we have to run several commands to, there you go. We'll have to run the open session, check session, and then we'll close the session, and then we'll have to remove the Firecrawl browser session again. But yeah, I create this command so it will do everything automatically. So if the security is triggered, we will have to do only the manual verification. That's it. We will not have to run all of this. So I'm gonna run this one. It's gonna open the data, and we start. Okay. So right now we start in the ingestion, and then okay. Start the process here. As I said, the files start to be created. Then we have a link to the user browser session of Firecrawl. Okay, so now as you see, we are in the website. This one, we can close it or it will close automatically. And we're waiting for manual verification Firecrawl. Verification pass, resuming scrape from the checkpoint because it's just the first one we made. It start with the first well. And as you can see, the CSV file is being created. We have the information about the browser session here. We also have the checkpoint that have been completed. And we have the scrape report. We have the missing APIs. We have missing count, the null columns, the request count, and yeah. So, like I said, with the ingest supervised, if the verification fails, I mean, if it triggers the security, it will start all the process, and the user will have to only do the manual verification, and it will restart from wherever or whatever API is not completed. And let me see what else to show. Okay, I'm just gonna stop this because it will take some time. Just also wanted to add, I added some heartbeat to this. So I checked that when scraping information, it's important to have a heartbeat because we cannot make a lot of requests because um, it can trigger security pretty easily, right? So yeah, that's added. Right now, I'm just going to make this bigger. I'm going to commit these changes to trash, and then I'm gonna check out to main. And in main, because in main we have all the data, right? So start new terminal. Okay, so in this one we have all the data. Okay, so now I wanted to show the API. So for this one is make a start, and it will run the application, and I will use Postman for this. So first, it's good practice to check if it's connected or not. The route is working, and now I want to check for this well. It's working. I also made it a little more flexible so we can just add the number. If something is not founded, it will show that it's not founded. If something is not valid, valid, it will trigger the validation. The API number must use this format, right? And then I also have the get polygon. So yeah, basically this one is the one of the assignment. So I send it, API numbers and account. Also has validation. Let's just cut this. Points must not contain empty coordinate pages. Or let's do something else like points equal test. Yeah. So you see it has validation and yeah, that's our app. And just have to say that um, if something is not working, you can check the README. It also explains the commands, the data flows, how to recover if something is failing. So you can check all this information here. Um, and I just have to say that it was very interesting to work on this project. I have never worked on scraping. I mainly have done like populating forms and other websites just to speed processes, but it was interesting for me to work on scraping and yeah, just learn from it and also work with new tools. So yeah, I hope that you like my project and this video was helpful for you. Thank you so much for your time, and please reach out if you have any question or if you need something else. Thank you.